everybody, and welcome to my Gameweek 38 team selection video. This is Lateriser 12, and wow, 38 is here. Probably this is my second last piece of content relevant to this season because we'll be doing a review uh, after the games on Sunday. In this video, I will address a few key press conference quotes, my thoughts on the matches that could present halls, and I won't focus that much on ended a while ago, but the aim of this video is to help you guys out with some last game week punts that you guys win your. So let's get right into it. Right, game week 37. Raya got 7 points. Isak was benched, so Enzo came in for him. Unfortunately, because Kivior and Bradley both got points, which bench. Nobody came through. De Bruyne missed an absolute sitter. I don't know how that happened. That would have been nice. We scored that goal. And the Watkins triple captaincy didn't quite work out as well because Mr. Kingski made a few saves as well. It not been a good. I'm so glad Pras and I did the pod on Tuesday before the final on Wednesday. Otherwise, it would have Zoff is traveling, so it would have been just me and Pras, two very depressed, low people doing a pod. But it is what it is. Just a word on United. I think we needed to hit the low because these players. I don't believe it's about the manager as much. It could be, but these players haven't performed under Ten. These players haven't performed under him. They haven't performed under of the older players. United's recruitment has been terrible, horrendous in the past few years, and it's all come down to this. And we needed to hit a real rock bottom. This is the rock bottom. I hope. You never know, right? You never know, and hopefully this leads to a real rebuild because what happened was if we won the final, it would have glossed over some of the cracks that have been apparent for the last decade. And United needed to realize that no, they need a proper color of the squad. These players are too comfortable. They choose when to play. I mean, they decide today I'll switch on and play. That tells us about the disparity in results between Europe and the league outside of the physicality. But that's that on United. Just needed a little vent out of my system. I will not be addressing that anymore. We'll discuss about that on. But game week 38. Game week 38 is all about goals. In case you haven't already noticed, if you notice, this is the season average per game, per game week, per game, the goals, and this is the game week 38 goals per game. If you see, it goes from 3.28 to 3.7, 2.85 to 3.3, 2.8 to 3.9, 2.69 to 3.1, except for 13, 14, which was pretty close. There's at least like a 0.5, 0.6 jump in game week 38. This tells us that there are goals. Except I think this season, there are about 3 or 4 teams that have it all to win for. I'm talking about the teams between third and seventh, eighth, fighting for Europe. Those games might be a little cagey. Even clean sheets, generally the Game Week 38 clean sheets are lower on average compared to the season average. Only on 2 or 3 occasions has the clean sheets average been higher in 38 than the season average. So basically, 38 means. But I will talk about the matchups and what I like individually a little later. This is a slide from Rob T, which pretty much tells us the same thing where, you can see the jump 2.7 to 3.3, 2.7 to 3.1, 2.8 to 3.9, 2.8 to 3.3, 3.3 to 3.7. That's goals per game between game week 37 and game week 38 as the average. And all of these games have given like a final thrashing, and we probably seen on the end of a few good thrashings and a few good game week 38 stories. I've captained Giroud twice for a hat trick and a brace as a differential. Mane's done well for me 2 years, 3 years ago when I had a top 1K season as well. I've gotten Wilson when everybody else was looking at some other players, and Wilson got me a yes to a nice positive game week 38. All right, some key best conference quotes and relevant to the matchups that I like is Arteta's talking about motivation. He says there's motivation because you want to have as many points as possible. You're always here representing this club to win and to play in the manner that we want to do. We still want to achieve the best defensive record. This is very important. He wants to achieve the Golden Glove for David Raya and finish the season on a high. And it's always about respecting the competition. So I like this because Arteta speaks about. I think the fact that Arsenal have secured second place takes pressure, weight of the shoulder. The fact that Saints have secured not being the worst league team in the league, has taken pressure off them, and at home, I think they'll go for it. And I think Arsenal might be good for a few goals. I expect Arsenal to score 3 goals, especially because there are a few injury problems at centre back for them as well. Let's see if the numbers agree. The numbers have Arsenal at 2.4, which is just behind Liverpool for number of goals scored. The markets have Arsenal at 2.4 goals scored, which is just behind Liverpool, and they have a 42% chance of clean sheet, which is behind just Newcastle and Bournemouth. And I like the fact that Arteta mentioned that David Raya is going for the Golden Glove. These things are on players' mind all the time. So, player Arsenal defenders, if you're looking for a defensive punt, like you have two defenders and need a defensive punt, somebody like a Califari or Ben White isn't a bad shout at all. Califari likes a shot from outside the box. He's good on set pieces. Southampton concede on set pieces as well. So, and then in attack, I just feel that the players like Bukayo Saka a bit underrated. If we get news on Sunday that Kai Havertz is starting, I'd be less keen because I think Kai plays 60 minutes tops if he's starting. So that's that. But the problem is Kai's fit, so it makes Martinelli and Trossard also punts. If you want attackers, you either go Saka or Odegaard. Punt on Martinelli. I like the defensive punts as well. I think both White and Califari are fairly attacking as well. And genuine chance for clean sheet, in my opinion. All right. That's Arsenal. What else? Eddie Howe talking about Alexander Isak because this is the most important bit. Yeah, a lot of us are Isak owners still. That said, he's not very highly owned. Last week in the top 10K on live FPL, he was only 50% EO owned. What was his EO around my rank? Let's check that. Isak was 64% around my rank. So it's not very highly owned, and he's got 400,000 transfers out already. There's a very decent chance that Isak could be lowly owned. Again, the one thing is that Newcastle leagues are slightly dodgy, so take them with a pinch of salt on Sunday. But this is what Eddie Howe said. He said he's doing okay. He's trained with us, but he's trained with he had sorry. He's doing okay. He hasn't trained with us yet, but he has made good progress through the week. The next couple of days will be absolutely crucial. There's a chance that he could play. It's difficult to give any more than that, really. Unless he trains with us, we won't fully know how he's going to respond to training and demands of the game. We'll only play him if he's fit to contribute at the moment. He has an opportunity potentially. I think we'll leave it till tomorrow. So basically, there's a decision that's going to be made on Saturday. Today, I'm recording this on Saturday morning. He's been running and feels okay, but of course, there's a difference between running. So he's been doing individual training. He's not trained with the team yet, and they will decide today. And we will get leaks today slash tomorrow, and just this could be a game changer because Jack is lowly owned. I think Newcastle is good for 2-3 goals against Everton as well. Everton are without Branthwaite, who's out for 4 to 5 weeks. And that means our favorite Michael Keane plays in defense. And I think Everton have had their high last week, right? The last game at Goodison, that they wrapped up for the season last week. So and Newcastle at St James's Park could be good for goals, even though they're in the race for Europe. I think if they go 2-0 up, they'll score 3 or 4. And even in midfield, if not Isak, right? I like punts like Gordon and Barnes because I think they're good for goals. The underlying numbers have been good. Newcastle have been in good attacking form, top half of XG and goals scored in the last 6 matches as well. And the markets agree. The markets have Newcastle along with Arsenal at 2.4 goals scored and highest potential for clean sheets. So pure Livramentos. Trippier is dodgy as well. He's not a slight doubt. He's a pretty considerable doubt for this. Important with regards to this game. Coffee and you can have a look at the odds. All right. What else? The game that I like that isn't very high on goal scored is look at that. Would you expect Brighton to be favorites against Spurs at home? But 2.15 for Brighton, rightly so. Brighton are doing some good stuff when it comes to playing attacking football. And if you notice, Spurs players played the game on Wednesday night. They partied all night on Wednesday. They were hungover on Thursday, partied, then they traveled back to London. And last evening, there was a parade for Spurs, and all of those players either smashed or hungover. So I like Brighton attackers because I don't think Spurs players give any care in the world about the game that's happening on Sunday. I don't think they care. I don't think Ange cares. Ange is going for a vacation on Monday, if I heard correctly. So I really like this game for goals. And I like it more than Bournemouth versus Leicester because I just think Bournemouth's form hasn't been that great. The thing with Bournemouth is, even in the last game, uh, Clivert played just 45 minutes. So his minutes are dodgy. Semenyo, right? He shows up on an off day, he doesn't show up. He's not reliable for points. And Evan Nielsen is the only punt if Isak is out or if you're looking for a punt. And he's fine as a punt. I just think I fancy Brighton more. Let's talk about Brighton. I want to talk about them. Here they are. I finish the slides. What do I like about Brighton? They are fourth for XG in the last 6 games. The third for goals scored in the last 6. It's a good attacking form, unlike Bournemouth. And Spurs are worse for goals conceded, third worst for XGC, and are extremely on the beach. New entrants to the beach club. They're still on the beach, probably while they'll just have landed into their stadium after partying on the beach. And I just don't think they'll be up for the game. So I expect goals. I expect this to be an open game. Spurs like to play open football anyway. Brighton like to play open football. It could very much be there could very much be 5+ goals in this game. So I like this game for goals. Welbeck in the last 7 league games has started all 7. He's got 90 minutes. The problem with Welbeck earlier was he never gets minutes. He's got 90 minutes on 5 occasions. He's got 83 minutes on 1 occasion, 70 odd minutes on the other occasion. He's good for minutes now, especially because Pedro is out because of a disciplinary issue. There was a bust up apparently with Van Hecken. It was settled at the ground. Helsler mentioned that. Helsler didn't mention the Van Heck thing. He just said it's a disciplinary issue. And there's one more thing. Yes, Rooter is ruled out as well. His minutes look secure. Welbeck's good. So I like him as an attacking punt. If Isak is ruled out and get the league, I think I prefer Welbeck to Evan Nielsen just because I see goals. Okay. Other punt in midfield that I like is Gruda. Gruda got the eye against Liverpool, claiming the assist. And he's combined for 4 shots with 5 chances created and 9 penalty box touches. He's been really well, low key under the radar punt. And Ursula talked him up. He said, yes, it was an impressive performance against Liverpool. Now he's starting to get the reward for his hard work in the training sessions, for the sacrifice he's made during the season. So he's getting rewarded. I don't think Ursula's going to take this reward away. He has to adapt to the culture. He has to adapt to a different country, to a different intensity. He's had to sacrifice, but he never gave up. He worked hard. He deserved to play today. I'm very happy for him. He's just talking him up. And he grabbed a goal before that against Wolves, and he had 2 assists against West Ham. So just a low-key, good, nice punt. He had 0.68 XGI last game as well. So I like it. And these numbers are good, right? 4 shots and 5 chances created. And Welbeck has got 6 shots. Now, you could also punt Minte or Mitoma. The slight problem is they will play 2 out of Minte, Mitoma, and Adingra. Last game, Minte and Adingra started. Mitoma came on scored. So that's just slight thing. Minte started the last few as well. So I'm not worried about his minutes. And I actually really like Mitoma as a punt as well. So if you're brave and if you can predict the minutes correctly there, spend some time on the Brighton forums, I don't mind a Brighton punt. But this is where my juices are flowing for goals, and I like Brighton attackers for goals. One more. So I'll just talk about the games and the goals that games and just some loose thoughts on the games. Bournemouth versus Leicester. Kirkes is probably one of the best defenders to own, but will he get played? Because the transfer to Liverpool looks likely to happen. So that's that. Evan Nielsen, good attacker, good for minutes. Don't worry there. Ipswich versus West Ham. 1.85 goals for Ipswich. If you're somebody who's chasing in the league and you want to take on Jared Bowen, I think take on Jared Bowen. Fine. But Bowen and Kudis, both good options. And Van Bissaka, because they like to play 3 at the back when they're playing away. And Van Bissaka will be further up front. So in defense, I like Van Bissaka. And in attack, I like Bowen. And Kudus, if you want a differential. United versus Villa, less the set about this game, the better. But my prediction is that Amarim will play a strong team. Not that it matters, but he will try and hope to end the season on a high. But Villa also, if they're 1-0 up, I don't think they're going to go for more goals. I think they're going to sit and contain. That's how they've been playing off late, and I think that's how they'll play. So I wouldn't captain or get an attacker from Villa if I was you. Forest versus Chelsea is the game I'm going to be watching. Most interesting game from a real-life footballing point of view. Difficult to call. Expect it to be a cagey affair. Spurs versus Brighton. My pick for goals this game week, and I think a Brighton attacker like Welbeck is a good option. Fulham versus City. Players, City defenders, they will play for the clean sheet. Not an easy game, in my opinion. Kovacic is out, and that means De Bruyne could potentially play deeper. So if somebody wants to make a transfer like De Bruyne to Saka, if Saka's playing, I don't mind that pun because I think Saka is underrated as a pick this week. Marmoush looks good, bought a banger of a goal. Uh, De Bruyne could be deeper because who's going to he be playing in the double pivot? In the cup, he played Bernardo Silva and De Bruyne in the double pivot. He could play Bernardo Silva and Gundogan, but that's an issue because Kovacic is suspended for this game, and he mentioned in the press conference that Rodri won't start. So that's that. Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, the Ibiza derby. Expect goals in this game. I like Luis Diaz as a punt. Mo Salah is a great captaincy option. He needs 2 returns to equal the record, to better the record for highest returns in a particular season. Mo Salah's aware of records, and he's going to play 90 minutes. He's going to main slots here, and I think he's going to get 2 returns and he's going to break the record. So, very safe, very good captaincy option. In fact, I might just captain him too. It's not worth taking Mo Salah on. There's no standard captaincy option unless you're chasing. I'll give you my chasing captaincy options. Like if I was chasing, would punt on a Welbeck or something like that. I don't mind Evan Nielsen if you're chasing, and I don't mind Saka if you're chasing. Those are my puns. Newcastle versus Everton. I said in midfield I like Barnes and Gordon as picks. I prefer Barnes to Gordon because he's got brace potential, genuine goal scorer. Play on Newcastle defenders. Isak, take a call on the last day. Leak and news. Southampton versus Arsenal. Play on Arsenal defenders. Even though Saliba's injured, Arsenal attackers are underrated. I think Arsenal will score 2 or 3 goals. I've got a feeling about that. And Wolves versus Brentford could be a basketball game. Anybody's call. Be like 2-2-2-3. Whether Cunha plays or not, there's a slight fitness doubt for Strand Larson, but I don't know about Cunha's minutes. I'm not a Wolves fan, and it's difficult. The couple of tweets that I read from FPL Black Wolf also said that it's difficult to call the minutes for this game. A lot of people are on free hit 38. Where would I start with free hit 38? Go with Mo Salah, throw in Diaz as a punt or Gakpo as a punt if you fancy it. Get Marmoush. Maybe, no, don't get Marmoush. Get a couple of Brighton attackers. Get Bournemouth attackers. Get Kirkes in defense. Get Van Bissaka in defense. Get Newcastle defenders. I think they're good for defense. Get an Arsenal defender like Califari or Ben White if you want attacking potential there. Get your Boomos and Visas of the world. That's where I am. And get one of Barnes or Gordon. Like just general thoughts on free hit drift. Like the games I like for goals are Brighton. Teams I like for goals are Brighton, Liverpool, Newcastle, Arsenal, Bournemouth. The teams I like for clean sheets are West Ham, Bournemouth, Newcastle, and Arsenal. So I hope that helps you with your free hit team. This is stats from the last 6 years. I haven't spoken about it. What are my transfers going to be? I need to check. I think if I can afford Rogers or Enzo to Gruda, I'll do that if Isak is fit. If Isak isn't fit, then I'm looking at Isak to Welbeck. Currently, Captain Salah, if the juices are flowing and I want to just roll the dice and make my season even worse, I will probably captain Saka. But that's my captain, vice captain. That's where I'm looking. That I thank a big thank you to all of you that have been supporting and all year. We're very, 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 very grateful for the support that you guys have given. Very grateful for the it keeps us going. What you guys do, it really, really keeps us going. We appreciate it. We read all the comments, good and bad. We take the bad comments on the chin, try to improve. And we'll be trying to improve for next year as well. All 3 of us will be back. FPL Wire, as is, will be there, and we're trying to get in the market. Got a bunch of emails for video editors. We're going to sort them out, take some interviews, figure out editors, and hopefully other production value. If there's anything else you want in terms of content as well, let us know. Big thank you to Fantasy Football Scout and Sleeper as well for supporting us for the season. Much love. Good luck this week, guys. And enjoy Gameweek 38. Man, it feels like that it's hitting now that the season's almost over. Good luck, man. Love you all. Take care. And thank you for everything.